Welcome back to AskFans TV. Today I'm joined by the one and only legendary Liverpool and German player. Oh my days, Didi Hamann. How's it going?
All good, thank you.
Oh man, Didi, how's it been, man?
Can't complain. Can't complain.
Well, what we're going to do first, we're going to kickstart by talking about what everybody wants to hear from you about Liverpool, the glorious Liverpool. So, how highly do you rate like the current Liverpool team?
Well, I think going forward, they are on their day probably as good as anyone. Even though City got a fantastic strike force, I think the guys who've been labelled the Fab Four, I think on their day can take any team apart. So I think, going forward they are very, very good. Central midfield and defence, I think they are okay, and I think this is the reason why they are only fourth in the table. If you look at the games played so far, I think there was only a couple of games where they've been outplayed by City and Spurs. Apart from them two, I think they've been the better team by quite a fair way. But then you look at the table, they're only fourth, and you have to win trophies. If you're at Liverpool, you've got to win trophies. They had a couple of chances in recent years. This year again, I think the FA Cup is probably the best chance, to go into folklore of the Liverpool history. I think you've got to win trophies, and hopefully, this year they can do it and get a monkey off their backs, and then kick on because I think they're making progress, and it's looking okay.
Yeah, they over up in Merseyside, they absolutely love Jurgen Klopp. What's your thoughts on him as a manager?
Well, he came in 2.5 years ago and he said, in the 4 years I'm here, I've got to win trophies. If not, I probably won't be here anymore. So he's got a year left. He extended his contract in the meantime. I think he changed the perception in the city, because at Liverpool there was always, they were either up here or they were down here. And I think he brought a bit of stability, a bit of balance, a bit more sense into the people. So I think he's done well so far. It's exciting to watch. What's missing now is silverware, so that's what he's got to do now.
Absolutely. You touched briefly on the central midfield going down to defence. Central midfield, we've got Jordan Henderson, Emre Can. Are they good enough?
Well, Chan's time at Liverpool might come to an end. He's still not signed a contract. I think they're good players. With Henderson, I think we shouldn't forget that he took over the captaincy of Steven Gerrard, which was big boots, an almost impossible mission to accomplish. So I think he's led the team okay. I think he's a good player. Whether he's a Liverpool captain, I leave that to other people. But I think they're very similar. They're players who like to drive with the ball. They're players who like to get in the box. Players who like to score goals. In Wijnaldum, they've got another one who's pretty similar. And what's missing, I think, is a holding midfielder, because I think the balance of the team sometimes is not right. I think both players would be better if they had a Matic or a Kante next to them. So I think they're good players, but I think they could be even better with somebody else next to them.
Someone to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
What about Oxlade-Chamberlain so far? Obviously, he just came in September. What's your thoughts on him so far?
Well, he's getting better. I think he's got to prove that he is the player everybody thought he was when he was 17, 18, because he stagnated in his last few years in Arsenal. I think he needed a change of scenery in the last few games. He's played really well. Until he does that, I've got to sit on the fence, because I think the ability he's got, I don't think he's done enough at Arsenal, and I think he's got to, in a way, prove himself now. The club showed a lot of faith by splashing out a lot of money for him late on in the transfer window. And now it's down to him to show what he's capable of. But at the same time, again, we must not forget, there's a lot of competition, especially in these forward positions, with Salah, with Mane, Lallana coming back. It ain't easy, and so far I'd say I'd be cautious when it comes to Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's got it to prove.
Absolutely. Liverpool, you've been in the Liverpool side that, lifted the glorious trophy, the Champions League. Can they do it? Can they do it this year?
Well, to win the Champions League is never easy. But there might be similarities, because when we went into the knockout stage in 2005, I don't think many people gave us a chance. And there were some fantastic teams in the competition. We knocked 3 of them, we knocked them out ourselves. So I think they've got a reasonable draw against Porto. I expect them to go to the quarterfinal. Paris and Real Madrid, one will bite the dust and go out. So, with a bit of luck, obviously you want to avoid the likes of Bayern Munich, the winner of that type, Paris, Madrid, Barcelona. You want to avoid them as long as possible. People say you've got to beat them all. Yes, you have.
But if you beat them later on.
Or if you have to beat one less, I think it'll make the task a bit easier. Man City's going really well. I think they've got a chance, because if you beat Porto, you're in the last 8. So you've got another 5 games to go. And as I said, if the offensive unit is on form, I think they will give any team a game. Yeah. And if I was in the draw in the last 8, obviously you've got to beat Porto. We've got to give him respect. Liverpool would be a team I wouldn't really like to play because of their offensive ability.
Absolutely, especially with their ability to drop certain players, like drop Mane and still smack up teams.
And I think Lallana coming back will be a big boost as well.
Exactly, massively. I guess then, what does that factor into when it comes to the Premier League? Where do you think they're going to finish this season in terms of Premier League?
I probably say they finish in the top 4. Spurs got a few problems at the moment. Arsenal, you never know whether they get their consistency into the team, and I don't think they'll catch the Manchester teams. I think they've got a chance to catch Chelsea, and then I think Arsenal is a dangerous side, because they're one of the few teams I think which is capable to win 7-8 on the bounce.
Yeah.
When they're on, they are good. The problem is for them, when they're bad, they're really bad. But I think Liverpool will finish 3rd or 4th. Yeah, I think they'll qualify for Champions League. Yeah,
absolutely. Then the last point on Liverpool is people want to know January business. I mean, Christmas, January sales is about to kick off. What's your thoughts on the January business? What do Liverpool need, and who do they need to hold on to in order to achieve those targets that you've said?
Yeah, well, I think it's well documented that they need a centre back, and I think they need a holding midfielder. But these positions haven't been addressed in the summer, so I don't think the manager will address them now, because he didn't feel the need to bring somebody in.
Why don't?
Well, they set their sights on Van Dijk. That didn't happen for some reason, and he said he was happy what he's got. And lately you've got to say they defended a lot better than they did at the start of the season. True. I don't think they conceded a goal from open play for 6 games, which is no mean feat in the Premier League. And then January is always a hard time to buy players, because the good teams don't want to sell their best players, and then you go further down the league, and then you probably have to pay over the odds, because everybody wants to stay in the Premier League. So I don't think we'll see any players coming into Liverpool. There might be 1 or 2 going out. But then I think in the summer you've got to try, especially if Can goes, I think you need to get a holding midfielder, a centre back, and then I'd keep a close eye on the goalkeeper, maybe even a goalkeeper.
Any names though? Anyone that you think in particular that's in the game right now that you think fantastic?
The problem is the players who Liverpool will be interested in, Man City, United and Chelsea and all the others will be interested in, maybe Paris and Bayern Munich and Madrid. So you've got a lot of competition, and the prices are very inflated, and sometimes, if you look at the top players, even defenders, you look at 40, 50 million. So I think it gets harder and harder to buy players in this current climate. Names, the only names I can throw in there is if you look at a goalkeeper, because I think if you want to win titles, you need an outstanding keeper.
Absolutely.
And Mignolet, I think he's doing okay. I'm not sure whether he's that keeper who wins your trophies. In Germany there's some fantastic keepers. Lehner from Leverkusen, Horn from Cologne. There's some fantastic keepers in Germany. For some reason, we keep producing keepers for the last 20 years. We bought one last summer. Maybe we've got to bring another one in from Germany.
Absolutely, absolutely. Didi, thank you so much. Thank you, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Nice one.